started?
It started. Say hi, everybody. This is Kinley Smith.
Hi.
Are you going to talk?
I don't know. Mommy.
Say hi, everybody. This is Kinley Smith out of Vernal, Utah.
Hi, everybody. This is Kinley from
Vernal, Utah.
Vernal, Utah.
What do you love about this summer?
That we get to go to the lake.
And what else have we done that's been really cool?
That we get to watch fireworks.
And we get to go camping.
Uh-huh.
And is Mommy always on her phone anymore?
Nope.
Nope. And what do you like about that?
Because I get to spend more time with you.
Yeah? And what else? Do we go camping?
Yeah.
Yeah?
But you're not as grumpy.
I'm not as grumpy? Am I happier?
Yeah.
Yeah, do I spend more time with you? Yeah? Okay, let me do this live. I've got my background changed. Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
You want to say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Okay, go.
Why do I have to leave?
Because I'm going to do this live really quick. Hello, everybody! Yes, we're going to fireworks tonight. Okay, the new background is up. You guys watched it happen. Cutie pie. So glad you're having fun with your cool mama, Kinley. Yeah, we have had a blast. We were talking about this last night, about how much our lives have changed over the last 100 days and how everything has kind of shifted, and how I don't talk to the same people. I'm not surrounded by the same people. I'm actually like a completely different person, honestly, if I look at how much my life has shifted over the last 100 days. And it's been amazing. It's been absolutely incredible. And so I wanted to do this live, you guys, because sometimes the stories that we tell ourselves, they're not true. 100% not true. And a lot of times the stories we do tell ourselves keep us in a mindset that is not fun. So what kind of stories do you tell yourself? First of all, give me some examples of what are some of the things that you have thought to be true, and you've created this story in your mind and you're like, yep, that's exactly what's happening. This is exactly what they're saying. This is exactly the way it is. And all of a sudden, you realize that none of that is true. And actually, a lot of what you created was something to keep you, quote unquote, safe or secure or tucked away in this little box, right? So that you're not good enough. That's a huge one, Becca, because so many times we go through our life and we think, I can't do that because I am not as good as, right? We are in this comparitis, which is so not fun. Or we get into this mindset that, if I just don't do anything, then I just am going to stay right where I am and I'm comfortable in this misery. I tell myself that people use me for my helpful nature. Codependency, that's huge, right? Like the only time somebody's going to like me is if I do this for them. And this is actually a huge one for me. So I've always been a giver. I've always been an overgiver, and I've always titled it being an overgiver, right? Like I would go out and I would buy everybody dinner. Or I would get everybody gifts at Christmas, or I would like do all these things because I thought that that's why people would love me. And as soon as I stopped doing that, it's like the dynamics of the relationships that I was around completely changed. And I was like, whoa, was I buying their friendship? Was I buying this relationship? Hi, Kat. How are you? Let's see, what else? What are some other things that you guys tell stories about that you'll never get anywhere in life? That one is a huge one that I might as well not even try, or I've tried 100 times, so I might as well not do it anymore, because if I do try, I'm just going to fail. That one's huge. What else, you guys? Oh, wow, there's lots of you on. Holy moly. Hey, Lori, how are you? Yeah, Megan, she's so cute. We had a conversation last night. We were talking about how much life has changed and how absolutely amazing things are now because I'm not attached to my phone. I could kind of just go. Our system is so crazy duplicatable. And, I get on and do my Zooms for my coaching, and you know, Kinley's like, why do you have to get on your phone? And I'm like, because I'm doing a coaching. And then so she sits here with me, and she's so cute. She's just absolutely cute. Hi, Shay. How are you? Hi, Krista. Woo woo. You're catching me on a live. Gosh, I love that woman. So here's some really cool tips to get out of the story creating mode. First of all, you have no idea what other people think, period. And how other people think is none of your business. Literally, what you think of me is none of my business. This is a really good book, by the way. I'm not reading this one at the moment, but I have read it and it's super good. Now, actually getting over that is, it's a little more difficult, right? Because so many times people have so many situations going on in their own personal life that when you start to create a story about it, you make yourself more important in their lives than you actually are, right? And so when I started to quote unquote disconnect myself from my old life and shift and change and become this new Amanda or this enhanced version of me or this more free me, I had a lot of stuff come in. I had a lot of stuff come in. And it was like, you know, I was told, you know, all kinds of stuff. And I'm not going to go into details because I'm not going to call anybody out. But I had to really, really disconnect from how other people felt about me. I had to get out of the that I'm affecting people. If I'm affecting people, it's because people are allowing me to affect them, right? And so when we disconnect ourselves and we kind of cut the cords or we cut the ties or we emotionally separate, that's a really good word for it. What we do is none of anybody else's business. And what I do on my Facebook and what I do in my life really is none of anybody else's business. You're not in my mind. You're not in my heart. You're not in my world. You're not married to my husband. You don't have my kids, right? And so there's a lot of this codependency caring that we all have, right? Like we're afraid that if we jump into that business or if we say yes to our dream, that we're going to affect people. And family is so crazy, right? Like our moms and our dads, our stepdads, our stepmoms, our, you know, our in-laws, our sisters, our brothers, like we can go on and on and on. And they are the most critical, right? Like, oh, you shouldn't do that. You should. I had a friend once that started one of those businesses and oh my gosh, they failed miserably, right? Or, you know, I heard that those are scams. Or, you know, you don't need a coach because they're just trying to take your money or any of that, like all that stuff that we hear. And then we hold ourselves back, even though our heart says that this is the right thing to do. And so one of the most challenging things to do on the planet is get connected to the one person that is always with us. That's us. You are the only person that is with you your entire life. You know, even your husband, even your wife, even your parents, they don't stay with you your whole life. Your church, your government, everything is always changing. So when you get into a space where you start to listen, oh my gosh, it is the scariest place on the planet. And one of the things that I have always thought is that I'm a catalyst for change, right? I had all these relationships come into my life and then go. And you know, the craziest thing, I got an apology the other day and I hope she gets on because I absolutely love this woman. I've known her for a very, very long time since I moved to Vernal. And she messaged me out of the blue. I haven't talked to her in months and months. She messaged me and she apologized to me for something that happened. And I literally started bawling and I was like, oh my gosh, like I had this woman on my heart. Like I literally felt bad that I couldn't make her happier, that I couldn't make it better, or that I couldn't fix what she did to me, right? So I just let it go. I forgave her. I let it go with love, just handled the situation. And literally months and months and months later, I get an apology because she felt bad for what had happened and her perception of it, right, at the time. And it just gave me that validation, right? Which we're constantly seeking validation. I don't care who you are. You're constantly seeking, hi, Sarah, that you're constantly seeking that you made the right decision, that you did the right thing, that you stepped into that fully and that you were good enough and you were confident and you were successful enough or whatever it is, right? Even when we get married or even when we have kids, we're constantly striving to be the best, even though we fail over and over and over again. But here's the thing, you guys, when you disconnect from what other people think about you and you fully embrace you, you will inspire the right people. You will affect the right people in the right way. And if you don't, That is not your responsibility, because every single person is walking the path that they chose to walk. Whether they admit it, whether they realize it, or whether they're aware of it, everything that comes into our space is coming into our space because it's supposed to. So these massive, huge shifts that have happened in my life over the last 6 months, right? Like since October, I would say October is when I really started to like kind of figure out my path, got a mentor, got a coach, figured it out, like, you know, ended up getting rid of that mentor and finding a new one and getting connected. Every choice, yes, thank you, Cindy. Every choice I made up to this point has brought me to where I am. Has it been easy? Hell no. Has it been wonderful? Heck yes. It has been fabulously challenging, but in this life there are so many wonderful challenges. Hi Sherry, mwah. I just send you so much love. I love all your posts on Facebook right now. October is when my journey shifted in a big way as well. It's crazy. And you know, so many times, like I watched a live from a really good friend this morning and it hit me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. We talked to each other on the phone this afternoon and I just told her thank you. I said, thank you so much for giving me that awareness and that shift, because we don't outgrow people, right? We outgrow the old version of ourselves. And that is one of the hardest things that I have had to walk through. I literally thought for so many years that I was doing something wrong because people would say goodbye to me. I really thought that I was not good enough because I had friends they were like the best friends ever to me and I loved them wholeheartedly and I gave all of myself to them, and they'd turn around and walk out of my life and end up talking crap about me or saying something that hurt me to the point where I would lay in bed for 3 days, right? And be like, why doesn't somebody like me? But here's the thing, we outgrow the old version of ourselves. We can't always stay in the same group. We can't always stay in the same business. We can't always stay in the same version of our old life, because if we did, we would literally be a stagnant pond. We would, the water that flows crystal clear. When you stay stuck, you stay in the muck, you stay in that situation, even though you know it's not good for you. Sometimes we don't know that it's not good for us, right? We think that without this group of people or without this in our lives or without this relationship, that we're not going to be whole. I have news for you guys. You are 100% whole. You have to just start listening to who you are right here. I was also listening to another live. I have all these mentors and coaches that are coming into my life. It's so cool. I'm surrounded by some of the most powerful people, and they love to share and give value for free. They love to help people, and they've owned businesses as well. So, right, then that's how they get clients, right? That's how I get clients. You guys watch me on lives on Facebook, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need this woman in my life. Here I am, right? So she said this, and she said there's 3 types of people in the world. There's the brilliant people that are constantly just shining their light. They don't give a crap. Like, you can look at Donald Trump and Oprah Winfrey and whatever, however you think about those people, doesn't matter. What you can look at is what they've accomplished and the bullshit that they've gone through. And poor Kat, she's like, you never cuss on a live, and here I am. Sorry, Kat. I hope nobody's listening. But literally, you can look at all these people. They're brilliant. Ellen DeGeneres. Give me some other names. Bob Proctor, Darren Hardy. You know, you look at all these incredible people that have literally paved a path for us. They gave up so much of the normal mind, right? Like the Wright brothers and the people that created, like, what's his name? Steve Jobs, right? We're all sitting on phones. And a lot of the technology was created by him and his group of people. We're all on Facebook right now. Give me some hearts. Pound those hearts for me, right? We're all on Facebook because some kid decided to do something in his garage that literally has connected thousands and thousands and thousands of people on Facebook. Yes, Tony Robbins, right? Took every struggle he's ever had and turned it. Ben Franklin, all of these incredible people, they took their struggles and they made them into triumphs. They made them into victories. Mark Zuckerberg, exactly. So here's the thing. 3 people, 3 different types of people. There's the people that are like brilliant. They just go. You never see them have a bad day. They overcome their obstacles like you wouldn't believe. Then there's the people in the middle, right? There's the people from like the really good people, they're charitable, they're kind, to the people that are figuring it out, right? They take courses, they're aware, they're working on themselves, they might not have it all figured out. And then you have the third group of people, right? And I'm not saying anybody is like this. So if you take this offensively, I'm sorry, I'm not meaning it offensively. But then there's just shitty people, right? There's just crappy people that just go through their life lives, and they just make crappy choices, and they blame people for their problems and never do anything different. They're the ones that cause the drama. They stir crap. They never work on themselves. They don't ever want to change who they are, right? They're in their world, everything is the way it is, and that's just the way it is, right? And it's just crappy, okay? Well, here's the thing. Sometimes crappy people come into your life. Sometimes people come into your life and they don't have to change. They don't have to do anything, but they can affect you, and they can move you, and they can grow you, and they can shift you, and they can change you, right? That is incredible. That is an incredible place for you to see that you don't have to change them. You don't have to work on them. You can see how far you've come from that place. And I loved the way that she explained it. There's no way I could explain it as well as she did, because she's on a whole nother level. But it was just really cool to realize that sometimes people are going to come into your life. Sometimes they're going to affect you. Sometimes they're going to hurt you. But guess what? It's not your responsibility to be hurt by them. It's your responsibility to take what they taught you and move. Move your energy, move your passion, move your purpose. Do something to get yourself out of that crappy place that you're in. Because when you do that, I promise you will have an awakening. You will have this aha moment. You will have this, oh my gosh, I understand exactly why I walked through that. I understand exactly what lesson I was supposed to learn. And I couldn't learn the lessons I learned without the people in my life, without the situations that have come in. And I'm so damn grateful. I am so grateful for every single person that came in to teach me something, whether we're friends now, whether there was ever an apology, whether they have completely disconnected from their lives, or whether they've come back. Because this is the cool part about life, is nothing ever stays the same. People never stay the same. If you're the same as you were 10 years ago, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you're the same as you were 5 years ago or 6 months ago, I'm sorry. But you know what? I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop moving and growing and shifting and enhancing who I am to step up on the platform of the life that I want to create, right? And I want to inspire you to do the same thing. Are you holding yourself back because of your mother-in-law's opinion of you? Are you holding yourself back because your husband has a paradigm about something? If they love you, they will love you at your best, and they will love you at your worst. If they don't unconditionally love you, say goodbye with grace. Say goodbye with love. Say goodbye with unconditional separation, right? Doesn't mean they're bad and you're good. Doesn't mean that they're less and you're better. Doesn't mean any of that. What it means is that you have taken a shift in your life. You have decided to do something different, and different is always scary. Different is always, there's fear, right? Like when I walked away from the company, I walked away, you guys. I got paid on Tuesday, and the next Tuesday I didn't get paid. There was no money. There was nothing coming in, right? That is scary to people. I had one of my really, really, really good friends. She was like, how can you walk away from that much money? How much is too much money? To me, it wasn't about the money. To me, it was about setting myself free and embracing this new version and this new change. If you guys are excited about change, put hashtag change in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay. I am so excited about the shifts that have come in, the brightness that's in my eyes, the freedom that I feel in my soul, and I'm grateful, 100% thankful. This feeling that I get for every single person that played their part in my story, that gave me the tools that I needed to overcome the challenges that were brought into my space. Some of you don't choose people for that. Some of you guys choose drugs or addictions or, situations, right? Sometimes we don't choose people to make a change. Sometimes it's our diet. Sometimes it's a disease. Sometimes it's heartache. Sometimes it's the loss, right? Sometimes it's financial loss or financial gain that helps us shift and change and grow who we are. Be grateful for those challenges. Be grateful for that comes into your space and guides you and assists you. So the story that you tell yourself, it's not true. It's not. You can look at your story and think and pile up all the reasons why what you're thinking is true. Or, hold on, baby. Or you can turn around and concentrate on all the reasons why that's right, why these things are happening to you, why you needed to disconnect, why you needed to shift, why you needed to say no, why you needed to say yes. It's all about shifting. Are you overwhelmed to the point where you think your whole entire world is falling apart? Maybe, just maybe, everything is falling apart so that you can restart, so that you can change the way you think about your life. Are your kids running all over you? Are you never getting to spend time with your husband? Is it time for you to make a massive shift and a massive change? Is it time for you to say yes to yourself instead of yes to everybody else? Because if that's you, if you look at all of the reasons why you're overwhelmed and why everything is falling apart, I promise you'll find 10,000 reasons why your whole entire world is falling apart. But maybe, just maybe, if you take your perception and just shift it, why is this happening for the good? Why am I saying yes to things that are right in my heart, but I don't have any of the same people in my life? You know, why was I a part of a group and now I'm not a part of that group at all, right? Like, maybe, just maybe, things are falling together for you in a different way. Maybe you're putting your chapters of your book together in a different order. Maybe this was part of an old story that you needed to keep with you for as long as you could until you decided to move it and shift it and grow it and change it and enhance it. Something better. I always go back to leaving my ex-husband, right? Like, it was the hardest decision I ever made. I truly, genuinely loved him. It was the best decision I ever made because what him and I had were not perfect. It wasn't perfect. Matter of fact, it was not at all good. But now I have a different version, and I had to go through that to appreciate this, right? Like, I would never say that any company I've ever been a part of it was bad. Everything I went through, I learned something from. I gained knowledge and took it with me. I let go of the crap. I let go of the hurt. I let go of the guilt. I let go of the resentment. I made the choices I made to put me on the path I'm on today. Why do I always feel alone? You always feel alone because you're not connecting with the truth of your heart, right? You're connecting to outside sources. Oh, I need that feeling of being connected or getting answers, or, you know, there's got to be something outside of me that is helping me feel better. I hate to break it to you guys, but it's all in here. Get in touch with that intuition that is guiding you. Get used to saying no to things that don't serve you. Maybe you need to start saying yes to things. Christy, I know your adventure, it's all about belief and faith in your power, right? You're so powerful. You don't even know it. I know it. I know how beautiful you are, but it's about finding it. Nobody can find it for you. Maybe it's a soul search that you got to go on. Maybe it's a disconnect from the world for a little while. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's getting connected to a different spiritual group or a different church or a different, you know, whatever it is for you guys personally, whatever it is you're going through, there is a reason, a reason. I wish I could like pound this on the desk. Like, there is a reason you're going through this. It's about finding it and then moving forward from it. And I was stuck, you guys. I was stuck for so long, constantly thinking and worrying and creating a story and wondering and all that stuff. Once I disconnected from why is this happening? What is going on? How did it even come to this? Like, what could I have done differently? Is there anything I could have done differently? No. Then everything started to shift. Every single aspect of my life, my finances, the people I was hanging out with. Megan, again, it's about getting in touch with who you are, right? Like, who are you? What do you want in life? What are you giving away that really is not yours to give away, or who you're trying to fix that's not really needing fixed? It's about coming back to us. And when we realize that we're never alone, your higher self is waiting for you. Your higher self, your guides, your mentors, your angels, they are there waiting for you to tap into the power that you have inside yourself. And is it easy? Absolutely not. Hardest thing, we go on this entire adventure of life trying to unlearn what we've been taught. We're not trying to learn. We know everything. We have to unlearn all the stuff that people told us. You're not pretty enough. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. You're not successful enough. You're not confident enough. Oh my gosh, you're perfect. You are absolutely perfect. Go back to that. Go back to the fact that you beat 40,000 sperm to be on this planet. Go back to the fact that you learned how to walk and talk and write and read, and you are as far as you are. You created children. Both of you guys are moms, right? Like, you created life. You are the creator of life. It's all in here. How do you get back to that? You got to unlearn what you've learned. You got to unlisten to what you listened to that kept you small. If you guys are feeling me right now, drop some hearts. I like how Coach Fryer, he goes, pound those hearts, or John Melton, one of them, pound those hearts, right? Like it's about unlearning and peeling back the layers. And I can tell you that without a coach, I would be a disaster right now, because without her right now walking me through all of this stuff, like I seriously wouldn't have been able to have that outside perception, right? That outside loving guidance that maybe this is all happening for a reason. Maybe all of this is happening because you had to grow again. You had to expand again. You had to change things up a bit, right? Because we can always get stuck in our story. That's easy. It's easy to get stuck in your story. This is happening to me. Somebody did this to me. You know, this isn't going good enough because of this and because of that, right? Blame. If only, you know, this wouldn't have happened to me, then I wouldn't be here. If only I wouldn't have met that person and they hurt me, then I wouldn't be in this situation. We got to get out of that, you guys. This is the time for us to take our power back. It's time for us to realize the powerful, creative creatures that we are. And sometimes it starts with gratitude, which is why I'm launching a gratitude course in my spiritual group. Right, it's going to be $50 for 3 Saturdays of an hour long each. That's 3 hours of learning and changing and shifting. You're going to have to do some work, right? You're going to have to get out a pen and paper. You're going to have to set a different routine, intend something different in your life. But are you ready to change? Are you ready to do something that you've never done before? Are you ready to try again? Maybe with a different intention, maybe with a different energy, maybe with a different idea, because that's what this is all about, is we cannot stay the same. We cannot stay in the energy that we were in. It doesn't work. That's why there's overwhelmingness. That's why there's stress. That's why there's worry, is because we're trying to holding on to an idea that doesn't serve us anymore. When you walk up the stairs, you don't stay on the same step, right? You gotta move your feet. You gotta put yourself on another level. You gotta grow. And it's so worth it. And you are so worth it, because when you figure out your power, you're not like anybody else on this planet. There is no one like you. There's no one like me. There's no one like anybody else. But so many times we reserve it. Right? Oh my gosh, I can't go live on Facebook because somebody might say something, or I might say the wrong thing, or I might hurt somebody, or, you know, I'm not organized enough to get on Facebook, or I'm not good enough to get out there and put myself out there. You know, I don't do my makeup, so maybe I shouldn't go live today. You know, my hair's a mess. Like maybe I shouldn't do that. We got to challenge ourselves. We have to challenge our belief systems. We have to challenge the old us. I'm not competing with anybody but the old me. I'm not competing with anybody but the me I was yesterday. Am I doing better than I was yesterday? Are you doing better than you were yesterday? If not, then it's time to look at something different. It's time to say yes to something. Maybe it's time to say no to something. If you're working on addictions, you don't have to quit. You just don't do it as much, right? Like just be better than you were yesterday. If you want to have a drink, but don't drink like the whole bottle, right? People will judge me. I will judge myself, right? You got to flip it. I will judge myself. Okay, that's true. I will judge myself. Am I willing to judge myself nicely, or am I willing to just accept the fact that I'm going to get on there and go wing it, right? And turning it around is so cool. No matter what we say, if we turn it around and we say it to ourselves, like let's see. Oh my gosh, that lady offended me, right? I actually offended myself by listening to that. Or I offended myself by not being true to who I was. I don't do my makeup and totally wing my lives every time. And that's why you're seeing yourself grow and enhance, Megan, because your lives are inspiring people, right? You're being consistent in your journey. And that's inspiring to people. Every time I see you on a live, I'm like, oh my gosh, looks like a totally different person. It's amazing. It's inspiring. It's incredible. But we have to remember how powerful and inspiring and amazing we are. Because so many times we forget. We forget how incredible we are. So stop telling yourself stories. Tell yourself good stories. Tell yourself stories that create and intend something new to come in. Get out of the worry and the wonder. And, you know, if people are telling you stuff and it just doesn't fit right, doesn't feel right, you don't have to hear it. You don't have to listen. You don't have to take it with you. Right? You don't have to take that story with you. And nobody that you're around should be keeping you small. They should be moving and motivating and inspiring and loving you unconditionally. And as hard as it is to say goodbye to people, as hard as it is to say goodbye to experiences, it's needed, it's necessary, and it's okay. As long as you have unconditional love for yourself. So there's my message. Good night, guys.